We were nervous that not much was going on in the position, but you seemed to find a way, Magnus. So, I mean, early on, I'm guessing that you were quite happy with the way the opening had gone. It looks as though you were doing
well.
Okay.
I guess at this stage I was a bit indifferent, but around move 15, I thought I had a meaningful.
Should we get to the
advantage.
critical position? Somehow?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Just can we get to the position after?
I kind of underestimated G4 because I was only thinking of G5 and then.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, we were. How did you feel about G5? Well, I don't know if you.
I mean, I thought that what I played is enough for a safe edge, and I mean this is a little bit of a. I feel that white is probably better, but it's a little bit complicated, and the black side is probably easier to handle.
So I felt that. I mean, I'm okay here. The pawn. The two double pawns may be ugly, but they cover a lot of squares, and here I can go knight e7, and it feels that I'm more solid on the king side than white is.
We were looking at Nigel.
That's why I should go knight e7 rather than queen.
Nigel was very keen on this move, I have to say. He was going into raptures about white's position. But you think black's all right?
The thing is, I mean, king h8, rook g8. I mean, it's not. It's. I think white probably does have a little edge, but it's going to be much more difficult for white.
I like this better than the game.
Yeah, but really, you think the game was kind of serious? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so knight e3.
Yeah, queen f1 was a nice move. I haven't seen that.
Okay, so g5. Here we go.
So okay, g5. I mean, positionally it looks ugly, but it's kind of a prophylactic move really, because I mean black is in a bit of a tangle, and it means that I can meet knight d8 with this plan of bishop e5 and playing on the dark squares, and you know, and normally, you know, black would want to play knight f5, but queen g4, and I get some advantage.
Okay, so
okay. I mean, I don't have to go knight d8, but I didn't really see another move. So.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of a critical moment.
But I thought you were just going to play rook e1. So
well, actually, can you just put queen b5 on the board, because I was looking at some very nice lines there. Okay. I wanted to play queen f3, queen takes b2. And then bishop takes g7. And I was trying to calculate this. I looked at queen takes a1, king g2, knight takes g7, queen takes f7 check, king h8, and now I wanted to play knight 3 g4. And I have a threat here, which is to play queen g8 check.
Oh, yeah, and knight d7.
So I looked at knight e f5.
Okay, let's just show this just randomly, you know. Okay, so I've just got to play it out because it is very beautiful. Okay, so all right, we've done that. So instead of
and if knight ef5,
knight ef5, yeah,
that creates a square on e7 for the king. So then I play knight h6, and now I think. Well, there's knight d6, I have queen g8, and then I give mate on f7, whatever happens. And then the other possibility is knight h4. And then I was looking at king h3, but I've just noticed a problem, because queen f1, king takes h4, knight f5 check. And maybe this doesn't actually work after all. But maybe it does. Maybe I just take on f5 and come back to h3. Oh no, sorry, then queen takes f5 is game over.
So still have knight g3 in the position, maybe.
Yeah. Well, who knows? But that's what I was spending some time on.
No wonder you ran short of time, Luke.
I just thought Queen B5, D3 was sufficient. So. I didn't see any of this.
All right, that was the end of your calculation. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, then I thought the Queen would just be misplaced.
Okay.
Yeah, but because after Queen D6, I thought that Queen D6 was completely impossible. But it's funny. I saw Queen F3, Knight takes G5.
Queen F3, Knight G5.
Knight takes G5, and Black is okay. And then I saw that instead of going Queen F3, I should play Knight. Well, that I could play Knight 5 G4 with a pleasant advantage. And then I thought about it a bit more and thought, well, why didn't I just play King H1, forgetting that Knight takes G5 is still possible. That was what happened.
Magnus, did you think this was the best move, Knight G4?
I don't know. At that point, I wasn't overly worried about this. I thought I'd take and then go C6, Knight C8, Knight D6. Obviously, white is better, but it's very hard to create threats, as Black is, after all, very solid.
Okay.
And with King H1, another point of this is that obviously that after C5, which is more or less desirable,
it's a nice trick. Okay, so the point is, of course, there's no check on G3, so there's this Zwischenzug. Okay.
So, obviously, you weren't looking for the position after Knight G5. How did you feel when it simplified a little bit?
After I played King H1, I saw it. So
right, yeah.
At least I wasn't surprised in that way. But
I mean, it's a sequel.
Actually, just one, just a couple of moves back.
Yeah.
I mean, takes F6. Knight G6 would have worked here, were it not for the fact that after Knight G6, the bishop will be trapped on G5.
Oh, that's a nice point. Yeah.
Because if I go HG6, then bishop F4 and white is coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but now after F6, it's just equal, I think. Knight C8 is probably dubious. Because what I wanted to do after Knight G4 was Queen F5.
Excuse me?
But that loses quite spectacularly to Knight G6.
Hang on, I managed to blow the moves. Can I do that? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, very nice.
I'm relieved that worked.
Knight G6. And now either rook E1.
Oh, rookie, Knight H6 check.
Knight H6, or Queen G6, then rook E8 and Knight F6.
Tricky. Okay, so Queen D8.
But here, after Queen D8, I thought you might try H4.
Yeah, I thought about it actually. But then I thought I was short of time and I wanted to simplify the position a bit.
I mean, I can go Knight D6, H5, Knight E4.
Not Knight F5?
Knight E4 looks better for me somehow. I don't know. But Knight F5 and Queen H3, I don't really see a follow-up. Seems that you've achieved something over there.
Yeah.
But maybe Knight E4 is better. At least that would have been more
Okay, so maybe
complicated.
H4, yeah. Okay.
But now, yeah, it's probably marginally better for Black, but it should obviously be a draw. And it's just one trick. I guess in general, White would want to go Queen F4, but then I'll go H5, and if Knight E5, then Bishop H6, and Queen is trapped.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I could play Knight E3.
Yeah, but then at least I get to exchange the bishop. And
Okay.
I mean, the game is better.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you got this endgame, and where do you think it started turning?
Well, if you go a few moves back, I thought here, no, here king d2 is the best way, because then white can counter the plan with king f6, king g5 with h4. And I don't know if I have any other ideas really to play for a win.
Well, I suppose the other possibility, instead of queen c8, was to play simply queen d7 check.
Yeah.
And after queen e7,
Yes, of course.
I take, bishop takes, king f3. And in general, you know, it's a sort of a scenario you want to avoid because, you know, it's a bishop against a knight and there's a chance of an outside passed pawn. But actually, I mean, if I just play e4 takes, king takes, I don't really see what black is going to do. So that would have
The knight
been
will be
safer.
very well placed on d3 also.
Yeah.
I mean, I can force it by playing g5 at some point because knight h5, king g6, knight d3. And
It seems, yeah.
seems very drosh.
Okay. So, round about here, it started to get interesting.
Yeah, now I was already feeling very optimistic.
Well, I wanted to play takes on d5, but I miscalculated something. Well, I thought I could go queen g8, but then I worried about queen e4.
Sorry, queen e4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if queen d8 check, bishop e7, and the bishop comes to g5, that's what I hadn't expected the first time round.
No, queen d7, queen c7. I don't know.
But maybe I can do this. Maybe I
Yeah,
just,
okay, maybe both. Okay, but then
Yeah.
bishop g5 and queen e5. This strikes me as very clear. But I wanted to play queen g5 instead of queen e4 to keep the king more safe. Then queen c8. Yeah.
I guess. Well, but maybe queen e6 also.
Queen e6, yes, of course. Queen g2 and king d1. Maybe just bishop g3. Looks as
Knight
this should-
e5.
Knight e5.
I have queen f1 and queen f5 possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, queen f1 works very well.
Okay, so that's- okay, so you played c5. Yeah, somehow it looks very unpleasant now. I mean, Magnus, did you see any?
No, at this point I thought it was over. Because
Okay.
the white counterplay is not going anywhere, and this bishop h2 plan is very strong.
Yeah.
Okay, this wasn't necessary, but I can.
Well, king e2 was a bit careless. I actually miscounted the moves when I was calculating. But if I play king c3, maybe it's a little bit more difficult.
I was actually just going to play king g3 here, and queen d8, play g4, takes.
Yeah, but then it will get a bit messy, I guess. I mean,
I don't really see how we can stop the pawn.
Yeah, the knight is.
Yeah, the knight is off.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's a long game, and I'm sure you're looking forward to taking a break, getting some food. So, listen, Magnus, thank you very much, and Luke as well. Thank you.